with Stamping Creations with Marilyn. Here once again to share a video with you for a Christmas card I have made, calling it Cookie Cutter Reindeer. It is made with the Cookie Cutter Christmas stamp set. As you can see, it has a reindeer, a teddy bear, a Santa, a gingerbread boy, and a little Eskimo, and lots of different embellishments that you can stamp and punch out for on there. Really a cute little card for anyone for Christmas, not just the little people. On this particular card, I have stamped the reindeer, colored its horns and ears with the blends, used just a small piece of paper for a greeting on the front, used some of the current designer paper, and I think I will probably, I did that one with the reindeer, the sample I showed you first, and then I am going to do some with this side up, I think, on this one. And also the background of that is done with the cable knit embossing folder. Makes it look warm and cuddly for a card like this. So those pieces, again, this is one of the thicker dynamic impression folders, so you only need one plate when you put that through the Big Shot to get your pardon me, your impressions. And on the inside of the card, I also stamped a verse from this set, which I'm just going to show you quickly how I used the Stamparatus for that, because it helped line everything up. So, with my verse lined up here where I need it, I have marked on my grid paper the sizes for my paper, 5 3/4, or 5 by 3 3/4, 5 by 1/4 by 4, 5 1/2 by 4 1/4, so that I don't necessarily have to lay all of the paper right up in the corner. If I line it up here for this particular size, then my ink that I am inking my image with doesn't have to land right up in the corner. So what I did for these is lined it up and stamp. It's quick and easy. Can do a number of them in a short time span, and I'm sure you're the same as the rest of us at Christmas time or coming up to Christmas. It's nice to be able to do things quickly, because for some reason we all seem to run out of enough time to get those things done. The other thing I did on this card, and it's just these 4 that I'm busy finishing up for my card class here, so thought I would show you that. So that is all for the Stamparatus today. To do the reindeer, oh, and just before I move it out of there, I did stamp a little reindeer on the envelope for that one. But for these guys, in order to save on paper, which is always a good thing, I stamped my reindeer in the center of, well, towards the center of this layer of cardstock, just up from here far enough so that it's not going to show, but also down far enough that you can get the punch in and punch it correctly to punch it out. The other thing that I had to remember was not too close to either edge here, because these pieces, when you punch, get punched out as well, as you can see. So if you were close to the edge trying to save paper that way, you would end up with it being punched in the wrong place. So I'll just finish up those others again to show you how I seems funny to be stamping him upside down, I know, but because of the way the punch is made, that is what we end up doing. So then again, you can line your punch up. And I know I had the ladies say, but that looks like a gingerbread man. Well, it is. It's the same punch. It is just made to work with 3 or 4 different images, which is a great way to make use of your tools. So there, along with a lot of extra little pieces, are my reindeer. To use the blends, again, they color so nicely that it's quick and easy. You could certainly add Wink of Stella to give it a little bit of bling if you wanted. And I'm sure maybe I will at some point try the perhaps one of these new misty all-purpose inks that we have back. Champagne Mist. There is a copper one, a gold, and a white. So lots of different possibilities for that. So once your card is stamped like that, it is quite straightforward to, if I find all the layers, put everything together. What I like to do is attach this to this first, because as you can see, if I show you closely, there's a little bit of extra. I find that happens when you run things through the embossing folders. It kind of, in order to emboss it, it shrinks the paper up. So even though I cut the two at the same size, they didn't end up there once it was run through. Again, same thing here. I left this a little bit longer, so it didn't matter where I punched it, it would work. So I would attach that before adhering it, and then put this little guy on with dimensionals, and there we have our card. One of the other things that one of the ladies did, and if you watched my prior video on the Peaceful Noel, I did mention it. We had done a number of these sprig punches for the Peaceful Noel, and she came along with it and she said, I would like to punch a bow out of that. So the bow, you can see, is on the side there. If we punch that out, then it can add a little bit of glitz. Whoops, just right there, and you've got just a little bit more shine and glimmer for your card. Hopefully that's helped give you some ideas for Christmas cards, and keep tuned to my YouTube channel because I will be having lots more to share with you. Thank you. Here are some more samples for you just to get an idea of what these gorgeous shimmer paints do. And also I finished off this card with the little glimmer bow. You can see how cute that little guy is. And then I went ahead and find it pays to have your tools close at hand. I have these shimmer paints sitting in a little paint tray on my desk, and as I was coloring these little reindeer, their ears, I thought, you know, it would be really neat to see what the shimmer paints do. So I've tried 3 of them. The 4th one that I'm not going to show you what it does is the Frost White. but it is white. I'm envisioning this being used for a lot of trees, spruce trees with a little bit of snow on them, glimmer. As you can hear, when you get these, you do shake them up to mix up the crystals, but this one is Champagne Mist. Just kind of a sparkle on that one. This next one I did was the Vegas Gold, and you can see it is gold in color. And then copper, bright copper copper colors have been coming back in the Stampin' Up arsenal of papers and inks, and that one is the copper, so I can envision that one with maybe a card like this with having your copper foil behind it. Wouldn't it just make it pop? Very, very nice.